Ocean, and I am a PhD student in Chiang Mai University. And I'm so happy to share my research to all of you. And my topic is identification and analysis of programs in teaching caused by COVID-19 in high schools and universities teachers in China. And for today's agenda, I will introduce my research background and the literature review and my research methodology and the research results. And after that should be the conclusion. As we all know, at the beginning of the 2020, COVID-19 spread rapidly around the world. So we have to follow the social distancing for all the people. And for the Chinese government, they required the people to stay at home as much as possible, including the students and the teachers in high schools and the universities. And on January 29, 2020, the Ministry of Education officer, they noticed that the people can use online platform to continue the learning in high schools and universities. So to ensure the teachers can teach and students can learn online effectively, the Chinese government helped the teachers and students to switch to cloud classrooms by integrating and arranging the national, local, and the school teaching resources together. And so this should be all the teachers and students, they have to study and learning online. But teach online was new for most teachers in China, and they also has just a limited time to prepare their teaching, because the new semester will begin around each February. And the COVID-19 broke up on January. So for the teachers, they just have one month to prepare. So it will cause some problems. And also some teachers, they lack of the experience in teaching online. So also they can cause some problems too. So for the literature review, we know the online teaching and learning has been growing all over the world. And the significant difference between online and offline teaching is a different teaching models. So we will do some research on the teaching models. And the online teaching models, the elements should be the teachers, students, teaching materials, teaching media, and the teaching and learning support platforms, and so on. And from the literature review, the teaching module is a pattern or plan or curriculum or course to select instructional materials and guide a teacher's action. And also the teaching module can be the prescriptive teaching strategies to help to realize special instruction goals. And a teaching module consists of guidelines for design educational activities and environments. And based on the literature review, they also mention about the characteristics of the teaching model. It should be encourage art of teaching, development of the inherent abilities based on individual differences, and influenced by philosophy, answers fundamental questions, providing appropriate experiences, a maximum of teaching and practice and concentration. So to do this research, I examined the existing literature review to explore the teaching activities and the online teaching. After that, I designed the interview questions and to do the online interview, because my target group should be the teachers in China, but now I stay in Chiang Mai, Thailand, so I have to do the online interview. And after I get the results, I do the content analysis and text mining, and to get the results, the common teaching programs in high schools and the universities. After that, after the analysis, and we can get the teaching programs. And to design the online interview questions, I use the structured interview questions, and it's based on the IPO tool, the input, process, and output. So the questions will focus on the teaching preparing and the teaching process and the teaching feedback. And my sample is teachers in Sichuan province. and they are working in high schools and universities. And to select the high school teachers, I follow the subjects. So the subjects I select is Chinese, Math, English, and history. And for the university teachers, I choose by the faculty. The art faculty and the science faculty. So each faculties, I choose two faculties in universities. That is Faculty of Foreign Languages and Cultures, Faculty of Arts, and the Faculty of Economics and Management, Faculty of Machine Engineering. And to give the backup of my sample selection, so I use some formula to calculate how many teachers I need to interview. And finally, I interviewed 64 teachers in high school and 87 teachers in universities. And the interview questions is based on the IPO process. So each questions will focus on, so for the input part, it will focus on how the teachers they prepare during the pandemic. And for the process part, it will focus on how the teacher teach in online during the pandemic. And the output should be how the feedback of the students and after they learning online in the during the pandemic, and they have positive activities, or can the students they can finish their assignments and submit in time or not. So all the questions is based on the IPO tool. And the results of the teaching programs, as we see, the first one is the teachers cannot keep students' motivation in online class effectively. And the second is teacher-student communication and interactions were not smooth. And the third one is some teaching activities could not be carried out in the online class. The fourth one is there were incomplete evaluation systems in online teaching. The fifth one is it is inconvenient to carry out experimental courses in online teaching, such as science class. And the teachers frequently use the same teaching materials and teaching methods in online classes. And
you have a few minutes to conclude, please.
Yes, and the possible courses is according to the students' learning attitude and the teacher's teaching methods. So I think this should be the key point of my research, and this can be the idea for my future research for my PhD research in the future. And also they mention about because of the different learning behaviors, so it will cause a different learning attitude. So why what the different attitudes? Because based on the different learning goals and the different subjects and the learning content, and also the students' learning attitude based on the teacher's teaching. And the possible solutions of the teaching programs. The first one give the solution just suggestion that is it is necessary to develop teachers' awareness and abilities of online teaching. And second is that teachers can combine online teaching and offline teaching together, just like a flipped classroom. And the third is there should be more investment in online teaching equipment to support teachers teaching online. And last is change the way of the teaching evaluation. So the conclusion is my paper has identified the teaching programs and get some potential solutions from the interviewees. And COVID-19 has brought changes to the teaching activities in high schools and universities. And to current the teaching programs, I use the interview and use the content analyze and the text mining to analyze my results. So that is my research. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. It's a very